anymore. Yeah, it's not in the story.
Don't everybody go to sleep now.
State law requires this body to announce at this time that a copy of the current Open Meetings Act is available at the back of the room where it's accessible to the public. Please.
Here.
Teller.
Here.
Hart.
Here.
Warren.
Here.
Aaron Johnson.
Here.
Euchre.
Here.
Ben Johnson.
Here.
Ask everybody to rise for a moment of silence, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Thank you. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item agenda 1, consent agenda. Approve this agenda, pay the claims as submitted, approve the city treasurer's report from January 2026. Corey moves and Trent seconds.
Tiller.
Yes.
Hart.
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Aaron Johnson.
Yes.
Euchre.
Yes.
Ben Johnson.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
You.
Item agenda 2, approve the minutes of the February 3rd, 2026 regular council meeting. Shane and Stacy.
Aaron Johnson.
Abstain?
Euchre.
Yes.
Ben Johnson.
Yes.
Weiss.
Yes.
Tiller.
Yes.
Hart.
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Thank you.
Item agenda 3, public forum, and this is for non-agenda items. I see nobody coming forward, so we will close the public forum. Item agenda 4, receive the Holdrege Area Public Library 2025 Impact Report. Just
Thank
state
you.
your names, please.
My name is Billy Holcomb, and I serve on the Board of Trustees of the Holdrege Library. Thank you for the
I
opportunity.
gotta introduce myself. My name is Sierra Burrows, and I am the library director at the Holdrege Area Public Library.
Thank you for opportunity to share our annual report and reflect on the year behind us, as well as the momentum moving us forward. Library story in 2025 is not just about numbers. This year represented a period of rebuilding, reinvestment, and renewed focus. With the intentional work to strengthen the library's foundation so it can continue serving our community well into the future. While the data reflects activity from January through December of 2025, our report spans both the calendar and fiscal year. Over the past year, Sierra, our library director, stepped into a role that required immediate attention to longstanding infrastructure challenges, outdated systems, and internal processes in need of clarity. What the board has seen is steadily thoughtful progress, much of it behind the scenes, that is positioning the library for long-term stability and growth. Under her leadership, the library focused on strengthening internal operations and communication. New training structures were introduced, procedures are being updated and created, and systems are being put in place to better support staff and daily operations. While these improvements may not always be visible to the public, they are essential to providing reliable, high-quality service. The library has also faced continued facility and technological challenges this year. Rather than responding only as issues arose, Sierra worked closely with the city, Glenwood, and the Nebraska Library Commission, and other partners to assess needs and stabilize essential systems. At the same time, the library invested in its people. New staff were welcomed as others celebrated retirement, professional development was encouraged, and a culture of shared responsibility and collaboration began to take shape. The board is seeing a team that is becoming more adaptable, confident, and connected. Despite the operational work happening behind the scenes, the library never lost sight of its role as community space. Programming reached new levels of engagement, partnership expanded, and events throughout this year reinforced that the library is not just a building, but a gathering place, a learning space, and a source of connection for all ages. Financial operation revenue for the fiscal year July 24 to 25 totaled $555,521.69, with $403.21.69 from city funds and $152,500 from county funds. We also received $2,924 from state aid and $20,134 in change from grants and donations. Here are some of the how the funding was spent. Wages, $27,143 in change. Collections, $47,388 and some change. Professional development, $2,947 and change. Subscriptions, $7,140 and some change. Building maintenance, $8,211 and change. Utilities, $16,108.81. Programming, $5,958.48. The operations, the remainder covered supplies and other essentials and growing expenses. I'm going to turn it over to Sarah.
Okay, so our library collections. At the end of 2025, our library held 128,476 items in our physical and digital collection. The digital collection offers ebooks, audio, and magazines through consortium partnerships. This year presented a challenge for libraries nationwide when our long-standing materials supplier, Baker & Taylor, announced that it would be ceasing operations. Baker & Taylor had served as a primary book supplier for public libraries for about 200 years, and its closure disrupted traditional ordering, cataloging, and standing order workflows across the library industry. In response, the library has begun transitioning to new vendors. We are setting up ordering through Amazon's library-focused services, that's new, which offers special pricing for libraries and catalog records. They don't have all the bugs worked out yet, but we're hopeful. In addition, the library is working with Ingram Library Services to restore our Automatically Yours standing order list for popular authors. And that means that we create a list of, like, James Patterson, for example, and they just automatically send us any new book that he comes out, which there's a lot. So this service, similar to what Baker & Taylor previously provided, will help ensure timely access to the high-demand titles for our patrons. And these changes reflect the library's proactive approach to adapting to industry shifts. Circulation and usage highlights. I would like to highlight our circulation and usage statistics, which reflect the community's active engagement with the library. Over 45,645 physical items and 58,837 e-materials were borrowed this last year. We welcomed 28,709 visitors through our doors, an increase of 600 visitors from last year, and 10,753 patrons hold active library cards. Now, I broke this up, and it includes approximately 6,627 Holdrege residents, 2,432 outside of Holdrege residents, and 1,694 outside of Phelps County residents. The top 3 towns for cardholders outside of Phelps County were Wilcox, Axtell, and Oxford. The library serves on average 150 people a day. Our website and social media channels reached 138,178 engagements last year, and this year we reached 571,691. This year also marked an important transition for the library's website. The library is working on a new website platform. This change was necessary for both long-term stability and accessibility. The Nebraska Library Commission will no longer be able to provide website hosting services at no cost in the future, so that's why we're having to make a change. And my favorite is program highlights. Programs have been a high interest area. We hosted 526 programs for all ages, with a total attendance of 9,429, which is an increase of 2,683 people from last year. One of the cool things that we got, thanks to a generous donation from the Friends of the library added a 3D printer to its technology offerings this year. Following staff training, the 3D printer debuted for public use in December, and in just 1 month it was used 81 times by patrons, showing a strong interest in hands-on learning, creativity, and emerging technologies. This edition expands access to tools that many patrons would not otherwise have available and reflects the library's role in supporting innovation and skill building. And then I like to talk about our outreach and partnerships. This year, the library placed an increased emphasis on meeting people where they are. So new partnerships are forming with local homeschool groups. Library staff also started visiting schools to connect directly with teens, asking them what they want to see in the library, and using that feedback to help shape future programs and spaces. And just to touch on that, we had been having teen programming on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Well, it turns out that does not work for teens, and so now their programming is Monday and Wednesday. So we learned that. And the library continued its role as an active partner with the Iron Horse Arts District, supporting local arts initiatives and contributing to our downtown community engagement. Looking ahead, outreach efforts will continue to extend beyond Holdrege, ensuring residents throughout the surrounding area to make sure they feel welcomed, represented, and connected to library services. All of our programs are made possible through the support of our local government, grant funding, local partnerships, donations, and the dedication of our library team.
So with that said, as we move forward, the library is operating with a new phase shaped by intentional planning and reflection. Recent library staff created a new strategic plan, along with updated mission, vision, and core values. These guiding documents now provide a clear framework for decision-making and ensure the library services and priorities align with both current community needs and long-term goals. In closing, the board is proud of the progress made this year. It has not been without challenges, but those challenges have been met with determination, collaboration, and a clear sense of purpose. We are grateful for the continued support of the city and the county, and we look forward to working together as the library continues to grow, adapt, and serve our community.
And next we have a presentation. So all of this reflected the sheet that you guys all got there with our annual report and our numbers.
Okay. You're going to run the machine.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So as we go through this, think of how a library has affected your life, what you went through when you were a kid, adult, or even with your kids and grandkids, okay? So the heart of our community, the Holdrege Public Library stands as a cornerstone of our community and a place people come to experience joy of reading, the exhilaration of discovering new ideas, to be empowered, and access to information of all types. Guided by community needs, we're proud to offer welcoming, convenient, and responsive services. You can read the numbers up there. The library serves about 8,000 residents. She alluded to that earlier. Our community ranges from young people, families, students, to farmers, to retirees, reflecting the Holdrege area's impact as a hub for education, healthcare, manufacturing, agricultural, and small business. We are proud of our collection of over 66,000 items. However, we are more than just a book loan. We offer access to technology, early literacy support, teen activities, and for adults, programs that will inspire lifelong learning. Oh, you got sound.
Apparently I do.
We welcome every person with dignity and care, believing that the human experience is at the heart of our mission to serve and reflect the worth of everyone. We ensure open and equitable access, believing that equal opportunity requires removing barriers for every member of our community. Helping people dream bigger starts with a story, a space, a spark that ignites imagination and turns I wish, I could into I can, making us a partner for everyone to grow into their potential in every chapter of their life. Lifelong learning, from the first words to new discoveries, we are here every step of the way, supporting curiosity that does not retire, and ensuring that learning, which is not limited to the classroom or clock, continues for every person at every stage of life.
And I just want to point out the song and video that you just saw, that is a program that we have come every summer. It's the Crane River Theater. That was Beauty and the Beast. This year they're going to be doing Frozen. But we are able to bring this program to the library to people who might not be able to afford a ticket or to even drive over to Kearney when they have their big event. So that is something that's very well attended during the summer. And then down in the corner here, we partner with the Edgerton Explorer Center a lot. And that is Deb. She's getting the kids ready to go into the giant planetarium that almost touches our lights in the library.
Teen Science Cafe is just one example of how the library is being used today and represents our core values. Through this program, we've partnered with organizations ranging from local groups like the Screen Machine and local video game producer to the National Park Service.
And the Teen Science Cafe is my baby. I started it, in 2022. I tried to get it off its feet. And what it is, it's a nationally recognized program. And we were the only library participating in the whole entire program. And now I've spoke at different workshops, seminars, conferences to try to pull in more libraries, and that is working, thankfully. But they do offer a lot of funding, so that's great news. But we are also the only one still in Nebraska, so that's really great. And what a Teen Science Cafe is it explores STEM careers with teens, and we usually have a speaker and then an activity. And so the speaker gets to tell the teens about how they made it to their job, what you got to do to get there, and then they get to have a hands-on experience. And so you can see the Screen Machine there. The kids were actually able to screen print, everybody got to screen print their own shirt. And Screen Machine donated all the shirts, the time, and we just met over there. And then in the middle up there, we have we met with the National Park Service, where they got to meet with a park ranger on Zoom. And then afterwards, they got to make a paw print of a bear paw. And then up in the corner here is our local resident, Ryan Ehrenberg. The team absolutely loved this program because they could not even think about someone living in Holdrege was helping design the explosions in the video game they play at home. So making that connection was just awesome. They loved that program so much.
Sierra,
Yeah.
quickly, how many are participating in this?
So we have to cap it at about 20, and then we always have about that many on a wait list for our programs.
For this particular program, or?
All of our
It's
programs.
kind of that way all the time. Whatever the program is, it's fulfills what we've got for space.
And you cap it for what reason, just space?
Space.
And we like to try to focus our Teen Science Cafes on things local, because we want our kids to go off to school and come back to serve our community. So we really try to focus on things that they could do around here. Creepy crawling on the next page.
The Teen Science Cafe partnered with the Nebraska Wildlife Rehab to explore biofluorescence and wildlife science. Teens learned about veterinary and wildlife careers and interacted with live specimens, including a scorpion. And another example of how this is another example of how the library brings real world learning opportunities into the community.
And I keep telling people no sound on that because I told them to keep their hands on the box. You could see they were really eager. They all just diverged on it and thought it was the coolest thing.
This photo shows a passive program challenge which allows children to participate at their own pace during regular library hours. Passive programs are designed to be low cost, flexible, and accessible to families who may not be able to attend scheduled programs. These activities are popular and encourage problem solving, creativity, and informal learning. As this photo shows, our current building offers very limited space to host even small, self-guided activities. This slide shows an educational trunk borrowed from the Nebraska Game and Parks Commission for all ages. Programs like this allow the library to bring high-quality educational resources into the community through partnerships without the cost of owning or storing specialized materials. Because of space limitations, activities like this must be set up in the main library area. When this happens, it does temporarily displace adult reading areas, tables, and quiet use space.
However, if someone is coming in to read the newspaper and they can't find a seat, they are still like, what are you doing? Oh, this is cool. And so, just coming in to use that service, they might not know we do this too. So it's very cool.
As you've noticed, we've progressed from the young ones to kind of the middle teens. We're going to move up what's available for you guys. Here are some photos for adult programming, which is becoming even more popular. One is sourdough bread class, which had more than the number of attendees on a wait list. We also hosted guided painting classes, which were also very popular and had another long waiting list.
And I also want to touch on the sourdough class. That lady the presenter normally charges about $35 a person for her classes. She's had them at the college. we were able to get sponsorships and donations to make it free because all library programs are free. And so that was a great opportunity for someone that might not be able to afford that, or maybe it didn't work with their schedule. So that was a great experience.
Here are some of our more recent programs for all ages. Raptorology program. Note this is the one that we had to close the library for because it's usually too hot for the birds, but also attendance is high. Bald eagles, American kestrel, Swainson hawk, and the screech owl. Highway paleontologist, hope to have him back this summer. You can see the high engagement from the teens in the front row. Teen dressed up in mush gear and sled dog. Speakers came to talk about dog sledding and also the 100th anniversary of the Serum Run. Bottom right, most highly attended program, 180 plus wildlife encounters.
And I want to touch on this. Edgerton Explorer Center just recently lost 3 of the birds that they normally bring to our program, so that's kind of sad. And the middle guy there, he's the only highway paleontologist in Nebraska, so we're lucky to catch him when he's not busy. But that big white thing that he's holding up, that is a giant sloth claw, and we had those roaming Nebraska. You can even visualize that thing. But very cool. He had the coolest fossils that he brought, and everything was hands-on, so the kids could go up there afterwards and just look at everything. And then the mushing one, she actually also brought her sled, so that was really cool to experience, and everyone could pet the dog. And then down in the corner, that was our highest attended program. That's an African several cat. That was not a hands-on opportunity for kids, but they were able to hold a baby alligator. They had an armadillo. Oh, what else did they bring? A hedgehog, a macaw, or something else. But that there was very cool for them to see that cat. It was very cool.
So those numbers I think we went through tonight already. But our library is a lively gathering place, as you've been able to see, for learning and connection, welcoming people of all ages, and opening doors to worlds beyond our own. We are more than a place of books. It is a center for lifelong learning in Phelps County. The library is a community center to explore programs and services that ignite curiosity and inspire growth.
And that also touches at the bottom how our programming attendance just keeps increasing largely.
So, computer, yeah,
Read that.
they can read that.
Yeah.
Computers were used over 7,000 times this year. 16 laptops and desktops reserved for adult usage. 4 laptops and desktops available to the children. 2 computers preloaded with games are dedicated to the little kids. Free Wi-Fi access to those with their own devices.
And as you can see, we offer opportunities for all. So we try to spark that love for reading, but also including the STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and math, bringing those experts in, workshops. And then also we just upgraded to fiber internet, which has made our lives way easier. So that was a really good upgrade. But with that, we also have access to e-read. So that was also helpful in getting to go.
So now that we went there, what is the 21st century library going to look like? We wanted to inspire curiosity, sparks lifelong learning through books, technology, creativity, and inspiration, encourages curiosity with the STEM arts and hands-on experiences, provides access to information and ideas that inspire discovery. It's supporting growth, builds literacy, digital skills, and workforce readiness, supports education, career development, and small business needs, strengthens local economic development by providing resources, training, and space to learn new skills. So it's a place for new businesses when they come in town, or if they have a business that needs their employees need to have some continued education. They come to the library and get that. Also, building a community serves as a welcoming space for connection and collaboration, offers flexible spaces for programs, meetings, and shared experiences, brings people together across generations, backgrounds, and interests.
And I just want to touch on that with that flexible spaces we don't currently have. But in the summertime, all of our tables are usually full because people are coming in and doing tutoring. And those tutoring teachers are at the door right at 10 because they know if they don't get to the building, they might not have their table to do their tutoring. So flexible spaces is a key too.
So, what's inspiring the next chapter? We're exploring the development of a new library, a modern, expanded space designed to serve our community for generations, a project that is more than a building. It is a foundation for learning, connection, and community.
And if you can look in the background there, that's the old Carnegie Library.
So, priorities identified by the Board of Trustees have done their due diligence to listen to the community, research, and engage professionals to identify the top 5 priorities identified by the public, identified in the recent feasibility study. One of those is welcoming community gathering space. The public strongly wanted flexible, multi-use spaces where people can meet, learn, and connect. This includes large community rooms for events and public meetings, a smaller study, as well as smaller study and tutoring rooms. These spaces are seen as essential for making the library a true community hub, not just a place to check out books. Another item was they wanted a dedicated children and teen space. Families consistently emphasize the importance of intentional spaces for children and teens. Respondents wanted inviting children's areas for after-school hours and programming, along with separate teen spaces that support studying, collaboration, and creative activities. These areas are viewed as critical to supporting youth, families, and lifelong learning. The third one, a modern, accessible, functioning building. Accessibility and functionality were major concerns. The public wants a building that is easy to navigate, includes working elevators, restrooms on all floors, and has open, logical layout. A modern design that feels bright, welcoming, and usable for all ages and abilities is seen as long overdue. The first one, space to grow services, programs, and collections. Many respondents feel the current library has simply outgrown its space. The public wants room for expanded programs, updated collections, comforting seating, technology, and future growth, without the building feeling crowded or limited what the library can offer. In other words, these ideas are not extras, but efficiency and effectiveness. The fifth one, a library that reflects community pride and progress. Beyond specific features, people want the library to represent who Holdrege is today and where it is headed. The building itself is viewed as a symbol of community pride, progress, and investment. In future generations, something residents can feel proud of and point to as a sign of community looking forward. Questions, thoughts? I'll let that soak in for a minute.
You mentioned earlier that you have average per day 150 people per day. Is that physical people, or is that you're counting your digital encounters and computer encounters?
That's just physical people coming through the door. Yep.
Anything else? We thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just for the record, because we're not asking a lot of questions, we've all seen the presentation and very good.
Thank you. Thank you.
And we did ask a lot of questions then.
Yes. Well, we hope you can come back. Thank you for update.
Thank you, Sierra.
Thank you.
Bill. Thank you. Item agenda 5, consider the requests from Iron Horse Art District for their May 30th Artisan Expo and August 29th Flyover Country Stage.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me. I'm Cassie Ehrenberg. I'm the Executive Director of the Iron Horse Arts District. And before I get into our ask, I gave everyone a couple sheets. So the Lighting the Way sheet, I just wanted to share this with you so that you would have this as a reference point. But it's our impact report from 2025, and I just wanted to share all of the exciting work that we've been able to do in the community, and a lot of it is thanks to approvals from that you've given us for things like the festoon lighting, the crosswalk murals, and street closures for our festival and things like that. So we have on the back of it, you can see all of the numbers that we've shared. So we've had over 130 artists just last year that shared their work throughout our different events. 64 volunteers that have worked on different projects with us. Over 635 people that have engaged in our classes and programming, and that's outside of the festival itself, which had almost 1,600 people that attended throughout the day last year. So just wanted to share that and thank you for all of your support as we built the district. So my ask today, we are splitting up the Iron Horse Arts Festival into 2 different events this year. So the Artisan Expo, which has been the daytime portion of the event, is going to be its own separate event on Saturday, May 30th. And we would like to ask for permission to have that hosted again around the downtown area, around the courthouse, with some street closures. And I do apologize, I asked, my map does not match up to what I actually asked for. I updated the map and not the written description, but we would like to request closure of East Avenue from 5th Avenue to 6th Avenue, and then the same area close on West, so 5th to 6th Avenue, and then closure of 5th Avenue between East and West for that event. And the event itself is from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m., so we would probably want the streets closed around 7 a.m.-ish, and then we could reopen them around 5 p.m.
Any issue with that, Chris?
Nope. Thank you. Jude?
No.
Do we want to do these separately, or do we want to do?
Yeah, should I go through the other one as well?
Why don't we? Yeah, I think if,
Do it either way.
I think why don't we go ahead and go through them?
Well, this isn't gonna coincide with our Swedish Days Festival.
Nope, that is, I believe, 3 or 4 weeks later.
Okay.
So separate event. And this one's just art specific, and whereas they do a lot of different fun things. Sure, thank you. And then on the second page, you can see information about the Flyover Country concert. That will stay on the same day, essentially, Saturday, August 29th. And this is the same layout that we're looking at from last year, so pretty much the same event. We would request street closures just south of the Eagles entrance, some snow fence barricades around Railroad Street and 3rd Avenue, and then use of some of the parking lots. And then we would have bars again in that area. We have talked to the Eagles and Lostway Brewery, and they're both on board to do that, so they will reach out to the city and get the permits for that portion.
Last year you had basically the entrance at gates just to the south of the entrance to the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
Would that be the same again this year?
I believe.
Basically allow patrons for the Eagles to.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, we would definitely make it so that people can get in their front doors. But yeah, the closed off section, we're looking at it being essentially the same area. We do anticipate that there may be a lot more attendees this year. We're lowering the ticket price to $10 in hope of making it more of a community building event to get a lot more people out. So
individuals in the Iron Horse Flats still have access to
they can, yes. So they'll have access to the parking on the back side of that area, and we also have given them the option if they want to come, that we'll give them a free ticket. So yeah, we haven't heard anything from them in the last 2 years about issues or noise complaints or anything.
So overall, this looks like pretty much the same layout as last year.
This one is, yeah, exactly the same, or it should be.
So if you were there last year, you had a pretty good idea. Yeah, that was a question. Attendance for last year, approximately, do you know?
For the concert, the
Yeah.
whole day it was about 1,600. I think the concert was about 550-ish. So hopefully it'll, with the lowering of the cost, hopefully we'll get a lot more people out this year.
What's the time?
Oh, Great question. It will be, I think the gates open at 5:30, and then the concert itself starts, the headliner or the opener starts at 7, and it would run until 10 p.m. So we're also going to end it a little bit earlier and ideally talk to some of the local establishments, like maybe Blastway and JB's and different places would like to have other performers that people can go there after our event, but I can go home. I'm old. Anyway,
No, you're not.
so, but yeah, we would essentially just have the streets. I think last year they closed them that Friday afternoon, so that or morning, so that the stage people can set up. So it'd be closed from like a Friday morning to Sunday morning, essentially, or Monday.
The parking lot, last year, did you hang signs in there like before?
I think we might have put some signs in there, in the parking lot that people can, go this, head in this direction.
Anything else? I will accept a motion to accept their request. Ben and Trent.
And Cassie, all the artwork and everything that you guys did this year looked good. The sidewalk, the crosswalks, it turned out great.
Thank you, and I will be coming back once we have if I need to talk about crosswalk updates.
Okay, great, excellent. All right.
Weiss,
Yes.
Tiller,
Yes.
Harp,
Yes.
Warren,
Yes.
Aaron Johnson,
Yes.
Euchre,
Yes.
Ben Johnson.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Cassie.
Yeah.
Item agenda 6, confirm the planning commission's approval of an application for conditional use from Larry Fitzgerald.
The meeting last Thursday, those concerns and issues and things.
Yeah, and the planning commission did agree to it, so.
Vince is here, Larry, business partner, if you have any questions.
Yep, if you guys have any questions, I'm here. Sorry, Larry would be here, but his mom's not doing too well, so he took off to Oshkosh, so he went down to go be with her, so I'm here for any questions you guys have about that.
So this conditional application is basically would to be allow, is it a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment on the west end of the building, is that correct?
Yeah, in the alley where that block
Yeah,
addition is, yeah.
Yeah.
Correct.
And that's what this conditional use is for.
The only reason we're going through this is because it's zoned.
It's zone commercial, and so to put a resident in,
Living quarters in it.
yeah,
And it's gonna be partially a residence and a business.
right.
Did it say what the business is gonna be? The
Yes.
business portion?
Mechanic shop.
In the middle is gonna be an automotive, we'll have an alignment rack in there. It's gonna be more high-end classic cars is sort of what our angle is gonna be. And then right there in the front with all those windows and stuff, that front section where they use the counter was gonna be a dog grooming, like a drop off where they do dog grooming there.
Like your own business, or you plan on subleasing to a different company
Yeah,
for that business?
Yeah, we have somebody that's sort of already doing that, and so we'll just incorporate that and utilize the business on the store frontage, and those big open windows look nice, and we'll make it look even better.
Okay, I just received this was not here this morning, this plan here. So I just would like to ask on this, and you might know before you're looking at this, is this like the grant over here?
Yes.
Okay. So then if whoever's,
This would be the alley.
okay. Okay. So whoever's, someone's just gonna live here, but not rent it out to someone else?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
This one's gonna be an apartment, the front part, I don't know if you can see this. And then the north right here where the shop doors will be, it's a big open grass field. There'll be a 60 by 10 approach that will be concrete, then their parking will be right there. So it'll be all on that north side.
Oh,
Off-street parking.
The lot to the,
yeah,
to the north that goes with this building.
okay.
That's where all the entrances
Yeah, on
are.
the first thing that came through with the other one, I just didn't know if it was gonna be a two-story. I didn't know
No.
which way that thing was going. Okay.
It's the existing building, they're not building it.
Existing footprint.
I seen you put the signs up. Did you get any feedback from anybody in the neighborhood?
Signs for,
You did?
That's,
that's for the city.
Oh, Dane did? Did we get any feedback
No.
from anybody?
There were several for the planning commission.
Next question, man, sorry.
Parking.
Oh, yeah, parking.
Parking. That was addressed with the lot to the north, take care of all the parking.
I think that was the only concern that was at the public portion of the meeting. And you're right, that is, that with that vacant lot there, parking should be a non-issue, other than for the, it was pointed out for the dog grooming. It could be
It's
a
a drop off. Yeah, it's a drop. No one's going to be waiting for that. So.
And they sit there for.
Yeah.
Well, they could, I shouldn't say that.
Wouldn't be any different than when it was a park store.
Right, yes, yeah,
exactly.
exactly.
That's what that parking's for. So whether it be what it is or what it was, or a new retail store or whatever.
Any more questions, comments?
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
And just to let you guys know, I've been meeting with Vince regularly as Dean.
Okay, Corey moves, and Aaron seconds.
Tiller.
Yes.
Hart.
Yes.
Warren.
Yes.
Aaron Johnson.
Yes.
Buford.
Abstain.
Ben Johnson.
Yes.
Weeks.
Yes.
Excellent. Item agenda 7, open discussion. Tonight, we will start with Amy.
Finished everybody's reservations at the Marriott, well, Lola, Jim, Chris's, and Nick's. I hope that you all are able to check in with these. Chris has the packet with all the information in it, so if you get there and they say you don't have a reservation, find Chris. I'll help you out.
Excellent.
That's all I have.
Thank you, Chris. I have nothing tonight. All right. Chief?
Doing interviews for the assistant dispatch supervisor on Thursday, and other than that, I have nothing else.
Okay, thank you. Corey?
I have nothing other than I would just give a shameless plug tomorrow, because of what a wonderful community this is. I'm putting on training for about 150 prosecutors, firefighters, police officers in Tassel. They donated space to me to present, along with the Attorney General's office, about big crimes that happen in small town Nebraska. Anybody that's interested in coming, we're going from 9 to 5 tomorrow. Community is awesome. We got donations for cookies and coffee for the officers, and so if anybody wants to come in here, we talk for 8 hours, which I'm sure none of you do. I can give you a condensed version, over a beer sometime. But I think it's a great event, and I can't thank the generosity of the community and the police department to help me put that on. So.
Awesome. Thank you. That's open to the public or
Well, not really.
to us?
It's there's some gory topics going to be talked
sure.
about, so it's going to be largely firefighters and law enforcement. But we have invited. I'm sorry about the short notice. We have invited, governmental officials that won't largely talk about it. Most of the stuff was public anyway. There were 2 trials involved in the cases. So.
Thank you. Shane?
Nothing.
Stacy?
Nothing.
Lowell?
Nothing, thank you.
Corey?
Nothing.
Ben?
I meant to say last time that the city workers took down some trees in the South Park, and it's made quite a bit of difference. It looks a lot better. So nice job to them.
I'll let them know.
gonna say the same thing and expand on that, even all the way through town. They're tearing it up, it's just good.
And we got pretty much everything we wanted to get done this year. We didn't get all done last year, we got all caught up this year.
Got your spring work done in the winter.
Right,
Well, that's efficiency.
Yeah.
we've been busy.
Good.
Thank you. Aaron?
I have none.
All right, I have nothing to add to this tonight. Good meeting. Thank you, Sarah.